welcome to Clash of the Dice. I'm James and this is my first ever unboxing video. So it's quite appropriate that my first ever unboxing video is for Deadzone, which was my first ever video on the channel. And yeah, I have not been this excited about a new game since Dreadball 2nd edition came out. And yeah, I love Deadzone, absolutely love it. It's what started this channel off. So I'll be honest, I was actually filled with a little bit of apprehension when they announced they were going to be doing Deadzone 3rd edition, because it's like, are they going to spoil it? But no, they haven't. From what I understand, I've been binge watching Deadzone. Tyler's puts a few back reps up there with Tim, and been binge watching those, and it looks like they've kept the core rules more or less the same, and from what I've seen on other videos as well, there's not been a huge amount of changes, which is excellent. They've made a few tweaks here and there which are only going to make it that bit better, so I'm really glad that the Deadzone we all know and love has been kept. So I'm really excited for this. When this arrived, Nicola said to me, "What's that?" And I said, "Deadzone 3rd edition!" And she's like, "Oh, is that for your Christmas present?" I'm like, "No." "Is it for your birthday present?" "No, it's for now. I can't wait until Christmas or January. This is for now." So yeah, I thought I'd film it. So I've already taken the cellophane off so you don't get that glossiness on the screen. But other than that, I haven't opened the box yet. So, first impressions. There's a new logo. So, new white logo. I don't know how I feel about that, if I'm perfectly honest. I quite like the old one, but they're moving the narrative on, as I understand it, in the Warpath universe, so it's less of a grimy frontier kind of setting where a Deadzone protocol has been enacted and the planet has been devastated from orbit, and it's the enforcers enforcing the Deadzone protocol and keeping all the other factions out as they scrounge around looking for stuff, and it's a bit more set within the central spheres of the GCPS as far as I can tell. So yeah, I'll have to actually read through the book to get a feel for where the narrative currently is, but as I understand it, that's where we're at with the narrative. So I can see why there is the sort of nice new shiny bright logo, and on the front we've obviously got the two core factions in the box. We've got the Veermyn and the GCPS, whereas on the 2nd edition box, which I have here, you've obviously got the Enforcers and the Forge Fathers. And as I say, that's the old Deadzone, grimy, almost grimdark, if I dare say that, kind of logo, to the nice bright shiny new one. So yeah, it looks good, cover art's good. And turn around the back, you've got the contents, and yeah, a simple list of what's there. Actual size pictures of two of the models. So one of the GCPS characters, I believe it's a new character for this box, and likewise the new Veermyn character. They look pretty awesome. When I realised it was going to be Veermyn in the starter set, I've actually got some that I bought a year and a half ago, confession time, and I've been manically painting those because I want to get into using them straight away. So I've got a few stalkers done. If you've been following me on Instagram the last few days, you'll have seen the stalkers, you'll have seen the nightmares. So yeah, started painting them up, even though I've had them for ages. Some of the models are actually some of my first ever Deadzone models that I ever got. Back in the day when Mantic used to do their Black Friday deal, which was a mystery box, you didn't know what you were going to get in it. The first one I got all sorts of stuff in there, and in there were some Veermyn and some of the first generation Forge Fathers, really old school ones. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to get in playing the Veermyn, so I've been painting those up, and all bar this chap I've already got, which isn't a bad thing because you can never have too many Veermyn, but we'll get to those in a minute. I haven't got any GCPS except for a Strider. I've got one Strider that's being painted up. Again, keen to play them. So let's crack open the box. So the box is not like the 2nd edition one where it's a two-part, you lift the top off one. It's one of these ones where you've almost got a sleeve which goes around it, and then the inside slides out. Cool, this is stiff. Like I say, I haven't opened it yet, so it is a bit, oh there we go, it comes out quite easily if you grab it right. So you got a plain cardboard box, very similar to the style they use for things like the Mega Armies. Yeah. So yes, my collection of Plague has increased substantially recently. But anyway, so this is the box. So lift it open, and there's some of the stuff we all know and love. You got your classic Deadzone bases with the round slots in, 25mm round bases. Two of those at the moment. Got some MDF 40mm. They're probably for the nightmares. And look at that, the wondrous new command dice, black and white as opposed to white and black. Andy on Weight of Fire, he's done an unboxing video and he got one of the first sets, which is understandable because he helped write it, and he had the classic white with black symbols on because they hadn't got these ones ready yet. So yeah, black command dice, that'll make it good for myself and Joshua or anybody else who wants to play. Telling the difference between whose command dice are which. I like them. Nice and crisp colours. I remember once speaking to a young lady and she said actually white and black aren't colours, they're combinations of all colours mixed in different ways, but yeah, there we go. D8s, I don't know if they were supposed to be in a bag, but they're not. Again, classic white dice with black numbers, just like from the second edition starter set. And then lots and lots, I think there's 12 bags, pretty sure there's 12 bags of scenery. Again, your classic Deadzone tiles to add to my collection. Who doesn't love more tiles, more terrain for games of Deadzone? Again, Tyler Schultz on Dreadpath Zone has also done an unboxing video. He's also done a video of how he has revamped some of his existing terrain to give it a more cyberpunk feel, and it's really good. He's got some fantastic ideas on there, so make sure you check that out. I might pinch some of those ideas myself, because you've got, I think this is some of the new stuff, so there's something there that could be, I suppose it's a bit big for a garbage bin, I'm not sure what that would be, but there's signs. Yeah, oh wow, yeah, look at that. For things like food outlets, there's a fish, that looks like a pot of noodles, you can see the chopsticks sticking out of it, and a burger. Yeah, looks good. Again, Tyler has done, one's a ramen slash noodle bar, which looks fantastic, and he's also done like a proper bar, cocktail bar, beer bar. Both look amazing. Oh, that one is a bin look. It's even got a recycle logo on it. I don't know if you can see that one. I might have to crack this one open. Yeah, look. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's quite clever, seeing as it's made out of plastic. Yeah. What else is there? Some air vents. I don't know what that could be. Top of a crate maybe, or another sign. Yeah. That's the whatever that is. Canopy. It's quite cool. It's obviously old and worn and been stitched back together. That's pretty cool. Is that an ATM? ATM machine maybe? Is that what that is? Could that be an ATM machine? Yes. I think that's supposed to be an ATM machine. That's pretty cool. That's what, it could be an ATM, it could be any kind of dispensable. Well, I think it's supposed to be an ATM. And that looks like the back of the bin. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and just more sign. Oh, look at that, squid. Now, is it squid? Is it water coming out of a tap? Is it a nameless of, yeah, someone in the global co-prosperity sphere started harvesting nameless and selling it as calamari, maybe. Who knows? Trying to work out if that writing is supposed to say anything. I suppose it's how writing has... I think it's supposed to go that way around, it's hard to tell. But yeah, how writing has evolved and languages have evolved in the thousands of years that this is set into. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be any specific language, but anyway, those are pretty cool. Just add a bit more flavour to your buildings rather than just being yeah, military. You've now got a chance to make some civilian buildings, which is pretty good. Your all-important connectors. So some damaged sections as well. You got some of those in 2nd edition. Some factory components. I think they were first introduced in the XM4, XM7, one of the expansions in 2nd edition. We've got these sort of, there's more broken bits, but yeah, industrial panels. Some of the accessories with the barrels that we all know and love, and the other containers, and street lights, 40-degree ones, and always ladders. Ladders are very important. Never have too many ladders. And yeah, edge protection. More of your standard issue military buildings. Some wire walkways and some corrugated panels. And again, more of your standard issue stuff, which is really cool. You've given you a good mixture there. Rather than all being military or all being industrial, they've given you a good mixture with some of the new stuff. So yeah, you should be able to come up with some really good combinations there. Another bag of connectors. Now then, I think that's one of the special characters. Come to those in a moment. Another odd base, because I think there are odd numbers. Yeah, there's 11 GCPS soldiers. So we've seen 2 lots of 10 bases. So I think there'll be, oh yeah, it says 13 sneaky Veerman warriors. So that'll be 10 of your standard Veermen plus 2 nightmares and the new character, and 11 brave GCPS soldiers. So yeah, 10 to go on these, and the other spare odd base, that's obviously for the lieutenant, which I've obviously also just dropped on the floor. That's fine, I've got plenty of those. So here we have the nightmares, standard nightmare sprue with the options for the spitters and the drills. Excellent. And then standard Veermyn sprue, and these can be built as the oh no, tell a lie, that's the GCPS sprue. That's excellent, because I haven't got any GCPS at all at the moment, so these are my first GCPS troopers. So yeah, and again, as I understand it, you can build them in various different configurations, so like rangers and veterans. It's excellent, very versatile sprue. Let's have a look. 1, 2 of those. Yep, looks like there's a grenade launcher there, there's pistols, there's rifles, there's shotguns by the looks of it. Yeah, all good stuff. Plenty of different heads, backpacks. So these are the Veermyn. Yeah, 2 of your standard sets of Veermyn, and again you got your options for your stalkers, your crawlers, and your maligni. What's the plural of malignus? I'm going to say maligni. But yeah, your different heavy weapons for your malignus. So yeah, good kits. So far I've got some built as stalkers, some built as malignus, and some built as crawlers. So a good combination already. There's another D8. How many D8s are there? That would make 8, does it say? Yeah. Well, it just says 8-sided dice. Doesn't say how many, but yeah, there are 8 D8s, unless there's any more hiding around somewhere. Doesn't look like there is. No, so you get 8 D8s. 8 8-sided dice. That's good. So these will be the special characters. Bubble wrap. Jasmine will probably play with this later. The smaller one, I'm going to assume, is the new Lieutenant, made out of resin. Yep. So we've got a head attached to a backpack there, head in a helmet, and then we've got an unhelmeted head for a lady. And you can probably hear a siren going on in the background. Apologies for that, but I don't want to stop mid-flow. Joys of living near a main road. Some different arms. So that one's got, that's a left-handed arm with a pistol, and a right-handed arm with some kind of energy fist. Yeah, and then the actual torso itself. Now then, is she supposed to be standing on something? Yeah, it looks like she's standing on... I see. There's a torso there, a Veermyn torso, look. So where's that? Ah, that's what that bit is, yeah. So she's actually standing with her foot resting on the back of the Veermyn torso. That's what this little, don't know if you can see it, there's a little nubbin on the bottom of her foot. Okay, cool. Now I need to put this back in, so I don't lose the pieces, make sure they don't clatter onto the floor. Did that have numbers on? Yeah, it's got some kind of numbers on. I don't know if they're relevant. I mean, you can more or less work out how the thing goes together anyway. Pretty good. And then this one, there have obviously been stats for a GCPS lieutenant or officer, but this one, as I understand it, is a completely new model. I could be wrong, but I understand it's a completely new model. Don't even know what it's called. That's how new it is. Lots of resin sprues. Here we go. Oh yeah, loads of multi-parts. So again, some kind of decorative base. Guessing that's that bit. Good chunky torso, so it's easily going to be nightmare size. Big claws. These are going to take a lot of cleaning up, which is always interesting with resin. But I do have to say, Mantic resin, from what I've used, generally speaking, is superior to a certain other popular rival. Yeah, whenever I use Games Workshop resin, I dread it because it is so fragile. The Mantic ones seem to be a bit chunkier, and it also tends to fit better and be less warped. So yeah, the other side, the other claws, again, they're going to need a bit of cleaning up with the flashing. Head in two sections, so we've got main head and cranium with lower jaw for a savage appearance, and the other leg. Yeah, looking forward to this. And of course the other benefit of these type of models is there's fewer parts, so you can build them quicker and get around to painting them quicker, which is really good, because let's face it, most of us just want to play the game. And then we've got the books. So we've got rulebook and force lists. That's a really good idea, because that way if you need to update them, you can just update one or the other. It's a really good idea, and to demonstrate just how much of a good idea it is, this is my second edition rulebook, and when they've updated rules, I've literally printed the update off the errata, stuck it in with sellotape. You can see how much sellotape's on there, stick it in place, and I have to draw arrows for a rampage, for example. ... On page 32, you add new paragraphs to the rampage table, and it's, yeah. So there's all sorts of stuff like that. Teleport, they completely changed teleport, so I crossed it out and stuck the new bit in, obscuring the picture. And towards the back, entirely new, this is stuck into the back cover, so weapons table, new abilities, and all the data sheets, is that right? All the stats for the GCPS. So yeah, hopefully there'll be less of that, because if they want to add new stats, new rules, they can just simply update the force list, a bit like they did with the Escalation Protocols book. They pretty much reissued all of the stats for every single faction and added new units in the Command Protocols Escalation book. This guy, I really like this guy. I really want him. Can't remember what it's called, but they look awesome. And these guys in like the Dr. Octopus suits. I love my Forge Fathers, as you know. If you've seen the Nexus Psi campaign I did it with Forge Fathers. Love Forge Fathers. So looking forward to that. But yeah, the rule book, nice and clearly laid out. There's Andy, look, Andy Dr. Deadzone Sharp from Way of Fire. Of course, Rob Veerman, Matt Gilbert. Playtesting. Thanks to all the many playtesters in the Council of Seven. We couldn't have done this without you. They used to list them all, but there's obviously so many of them that now you can't. Nice setup with the new terrain. There's the recycling bin, look. Oh yeah, I've done that as an ATM. Some barrels, the signs. They all look really cool. Now then, I believe, yeah, I mean here, they haven't changed the rules so much, but they have kind of clarified some bits where some things were a little bit iffy. How do you actually work this out? I think they've had more chance to play test things. They've got a lot more experience with how the rules work. So yeah, they've just simply clarified things in the core rules. This guy looks pretty cool. I think that's some kind of new plague model. He looks really cool. I can't wait for him to come out. It almost looks like a new stage 1. He's got a massive sword and some kind of pole, but I haven't actually seen that yet. No more shooting fingertips or pistols or tails or sword points. This I really like. It's going to make a lot of things. If you watch some of the older bat reps, it's like that's no longer a clear shot, or it is now a clear shot because of the way that the models are positioned. Yeah, one of Joshua's favourite tactics was getting a model standing, say, this arm behind a building so you couldn't get a clear shot on that one, and then standing another model behind this guy with the gun pointing over him, saying so that you couldn't get a clear shot on the guy who stood there. But now it's the width of the base up until the highest point of kind of the head. So they're showing you on the Spectre that, you know, up to the head from the base. I think that's very sensible. And it does mean that you need to take more of a chance, I think, if you want to line up some shots. Yeah, I like that. The rules and the turns, the different command dice symbols, purchasing a reroll, that's a new one. So if you end up with some command dice that you can't use, say you've got everything is armed with melee weapons, and you end up, even after you reroll, some shoot dice that are no good to you, you can simply burn one and re-roll a single dice. That's really good. But yeah, everything nicely laid out, clarifying the movement rules, clarifying the door sizes. I think that was already there though, to be fair. Yeah, some really nice photos of some of the newer models. Yeah, some new artwork. So some Forge Fathers there, embattled by the Kalishi. Looks like the Forge Fathers are after some of the Asterian tech. Now some of the new items, that's a point, there's a thing of new items in there. Some of them I think are completely new, other ones are effectively ones that were introduced in the Command Protocols Escalation book. So yeah, here's the new tiles. As I say, some of them are completely new, some of them not. Now these are these ones at the bottom. These are if you use the objective models rather than just using objective tokens. So these are obviously tokens, but you can get these, the pictures that are on them, like this barrel. You can actually get the physical models of those now, which is really good. I'm trying to work out what this one is. It almost looks like a dread ball, but I don't think it is. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. But yeah. So your new items along here. There are some completely new ones. There's also your good traditional booby traps. Who doesn't love the booby traps? Armor piercing ammo. I think that one's new and that one might be new. Is that a shock baton maybe? wound dice with, oh sorry, wound counters. We've got 3s there now, 1, 2 and 3 wounds. Smoke, poison clouds, not sure what this is. I'll have to have a look through the rulebook with its evil eyes. Victory point tokens, and of course some of them are double-sided, so some of the smoke tokens and some of the wound tokens have got flame tokens on. Activation tokens, double up as wound tokens. Yeah, all really good. I know what this is as well. I'll have to see what these ones are all about. Anyway, digressing. So yeah, separate rule book that can be updated. But it looks like you've got everything in there. You've got the campaigns. You've got all this background stuff, lore. Well, if you're a lore junkie like me, you're going to be reading that at bedtime. Your different scenarios with some really interesting looking deployment zones. Yeah, plenty of new scenarios. I think there's some of the classic ones as well, like Patrol and Scour, and you've got your secret missions as well. Used to love the secret missions. Recon table. That looks simplified. That looks to be simpler than 2nd edition. I'm going to have to check that. Where's Recon? I'm going to have to put all these tabs in the new book as well. Makes it easy to find stuff. Yeah, so Recon effect. In 2nd Ed, you had 8 different Recon effects. So now, oh no, just the same. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6, 7 and 8. So you've only got 6 effects now rather than 8. So yeah, this one's obviously the most popular. So 4 to 6. Move 1 model in your strike team up to 1 cube. Do not mark it as activated, blah blah blah. So yeah, nice and interesting. And then you've got your game sizes and victory points required to win. No changes there, I don't think. Different items. Yeah, that was a shock baton. Stimulants, stun grenades. What were those other tokens? This must be really annoying for you guys. You can't see what I'm looking at, but yeah. All your standard abilities. Right. Rampage. Hopefully that's good and up to date and I haven't got to cut a piece out and stick it in. Rapid fire, resilient, scout, all the ones we know and love. Indirect, jump pack, medic, it burns, insac, invigorate. I think that's new. Or it was in, assuming it wasn't in the I've said it so many times already in this battle rep. What's it called? Command escalations book. Command protocols escalation book. Yeah. No, good stuff. Rulebook. Excellent. Force list. This is really chunky. Look at that. Is this just stats? Building strike teams, choosing your units, and then we've got Asterians, Enforcers, Forge Fathers, GCPS, Marauders, Maison Labs. Need to get them painted up. I bought the Star Saga starter set, the deluxe special edition, when it was on offer from Mantic on Black Friday, not this year, not last year, but the year before. I still haven't painted them. I feel really bad. I feel really guilty. I love Deadzone. It's my favourite game ever, but I feel like I've neglected it. So yeah, I feel a bit guilty, but yeah, I'm going to embrace it. Anyway, Nameless, Plague, Rebs, Veermyn. So all the factions we know and love, they're all in here. And yeah, it looks like so many stats. Oh, some nice artwork. We like artwork. Some painted examples. Yeah, look at that. I think these are all life size as well. These obviously aren't. I'm pretty sure that is not that big in reality. I don't know, because I haven't got any Asterians. I'm going to get some Asterians. That's not, I'll tell a lie. I've got some Asterians, and to be fair, I think they're bigger than them. So these might not be life size. Yeah. Again, I've got a handful of Asterians from that random box that I got years ago. So I've got a handful of Asterian specialists. But yeah, I'm pretty sure those aren't that big, but I can't say that with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure those are not life size. Anyway, so a bit of background about the Enforcers. All the different factions, troops and specialists are... Where are they? Peacekeepers. Are they troops now? Troops, yeah. Peacekeeper. Assault Enforcer, Pathfinder, Sentry Gun, Peacekeeper. Looks like Peacekeepers are now... Oh yeah, we've got a choice. They can either be a troop or a specialist. I'm pretty sure in 2nd edition they could only be specialists. That's interesting. It's a good choice, I think. You can go for a good elite force. But yeah, something that is significant. So you got your usual ones. So your speed 1 to 2, whether we're making a short move or a long move action. Your ranged attack, your fight stat. So I think that was called a shoot stat before. Now you got ranged attack, fight stat, save, armor. So that's all the same. Hit points is new. It used to be whatever size you were was how many hit points you could take. So size 2, you got 2 hit points. But you're also now including what size base he should be on. So this chap, Master Artificer for the Forge Fathers, should be on a 40mm base. But for example down here, Steel Warrior, size 1 but 2 hit points. So they can take a bit more damage. Still armor 1, this is Steel Warrior, yeah. That's all good. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, again, as and when they release new stuff, they can just update the force list. So I imagine they might do something a bit like the Clash of Kings update. I think that was the idea of the things like the Command Escalations books. They were going to start releasing those as kind of like the Deadzone equivalent of Clash of Kings for Kings of War. Those are the books. Getting started, quick play sheet. So tells you which weapons are for the GCPS and what they all are. GCPS troopers and rangers, and your hero. Presumably it's the same for the Veerman. Yep. Veerman hero. I hope he's actually got a name. I'm going to look that up. Not simply Veerman hero. I'm sure he's got a name. How to build your terrain. And then your first game. That looks very small. It's a 5x5 grid as opposed to 8x8. Okay, interesting. Ah, yes, I've just remembered. Oh, is that a spare 40mm base? Oh no, that'll be for the Veerman hero. Yes, I remember seeing on Andy's video. This is the new mat, which is of course paper, but they are producing a neoprene one. This is nice. Again, a bit more urban rather than industrial or military. I'm going to have to measure this. I want to know if it's still 74x74mm as opposed to 3-inch. In theory it should be 3-inch by 3-inch, but if you've seen my Deadzone terrain building video, it's actually 74mm by 74mm. So if you build it 3 inches by 3 inches, and eventually it's going to way overlap into other cubes. Do I stop there and get a measuring device? Measuring device, otherwise known as a ruler. Do you know what? That is 3 inches. Not 74x74. That is actually 3 inches. Can I get the lighting right? Yeah, this one is 3 inches by 3 inches, not 74mm. Good, because 3 inches is easier to work to than 74mm. Good. But yes, where was I getting to? The first mission is laid out for you on the back. So you got, there's your mission on a 5x5 grid, which is what is referred to, where's it gone? In here. And you got your stats down here for the GCPS. You got your basic rules down the side, and then obviously flip it around. You got your Veermyn stats for the models you'll be using. Scenario setup. Let's have a look. 1 Stalker, 1 Crawler, 1 Malignus with heavy ray gun. Okay, so you got to build a Malignus out of one of those sprues. It doesn't say who your hero is, but it does say, yeah, on here your starting scenario: Stalker with a ray pistol, Stalker with a ray gun, Malignus with a heavy ray gun, and then you get a Marine with a flamethrower, Veteran with a laser carbine, and a Ranger with a laser carbine. Okay. Yeah, so you don't use the new chap. There you go. Stalker, Crawler, Malignus. Excellent. Well, that is the box emptied. Yeah, so that was my first unboxing video. Maybe need to refine it ever so slightly, but really looking forward to getting stuck into this. I want to play it. I really want to play it. Just need to twist Joshua's arm around his back to get him to join in. But in the meantime, please continue to like, comment and subscribe, and until next time, God bless.